Hello, my name is Eric Hines, and today I want to discuss an interesting topic from World War II, and that would be a specific war crime committed by the American Army. Now, Allies, as we know, have committed war crimes, but I found one that's so underdiscussed, so interesting in my scope, that I wanted to bring it up. Now, wars long brought out both the best and worst of human behavior of the Axis and the Allies. But as students of history, we should also focus on interesting aspects of our own country. In fact, that's the whole reason I wanted to highlight one lesser discussed event from World War II, the Biscari Massacre of July 1943. And after some research, I believe the incidents at Biscari serve as a vital reminder of war's ethical stakes, even for disciplined democratic armies who opposed fascism and oppression. Now, full on, we need context. And with my research and my analysis, I believe I can provide a good insight, but also keep it condensed and short to where I can explain it pretty easily. By July of 43, American troops were rapidly advancing through Sicily. They liberated local populations from Mussolini's fascism and Nazi occupations alike. But with liberating people, there also has to be prisoners of the opposing side. Axis prisoners became a burden for them, however, as advancing was made very slow. It caused logistical headaches, but under international law, we were required to take care of the POWs. However, I believe the strains of battle that may have led some Allied troops to snap. Members of the 45th Infantry Division, on July 14, 1943, executed over 75 Axis prisoners near Biscari Airfield, and in the subsequent days following. The victims were mostly Italians who had already surrendered and deserved the protections of prisoners of war. In fact, one of the biggest examples of somebody who broke the ethics of war and broke the code and the law, of course, was one Sergeant Horace West. Now, West directly murdered at least 33 unarmed prisoners with his Thompson submachine gun, and that was over multiple incidents. It was insanely brutal, and it should be shocking to realize. But some people have deemed him a sociopath even when he signed up. I did some research, and West was not some sociopath before enlistment. In fact, he had been a normal American farmer. So the question lies with, what led West and others to abandon ethical codes and military discipline? In my analysis, I believe it was an explosive combination of circumstance and human failings. In fact, I also believe it was the pursuit of vengeance, blind obedience without fully thinking, and the numbing experience of killing gradually leading to unacceptable cruelty. Psychology back in war, with shell shock and all that, was interesting. But another big thing that I learned was empathy. The more you do something outlandish like killing, the more the brain normalizes it. So, one of the biggest things that should be explained is that the numbing experience is very, very harmful to empathy, which I believe resulted in that. But the Biscari Massacre not only represents the cruelty of what happens to prisoners of war and what happens to the psychology changes within the American troops, but it also focuses the thin ethical line between civilized society and unrestrained violence. Of course, our Axis forces committed countless and even larger war crimes across Europe. It's been proven, it's been shown. But as an American, and as American students in schools, it is apt for us to focus inward, highlighting the Biscari Massacre, so that our military maintains the highest ethical standards even amid future conflicts. You see, blind obedience and emotion, unchecked by discipline, can turn even citizen-turned soldiers from protectors into killers unrecognizable to themselves. It really shows empathy lowers the more a war goes on. I would also like to apologize if any of these events caused any discomfort. As part of the research, I am committed to spotlighting diverse historical case studies on the drama of war, examining both strategic and ethical conditions to form a well-rounded understanding, which I believe I have done and condensed. In fact, this is multiple days of research that I've made into a small little script for myself. But it is the duty to prevent atrocities that applies to everyone, and it applies equally to readdressing Allied misconduct. In fact, I would like you, the viewer, to share any insights you may have over this pretty much overlooked World War II event and its implications. I believe open dialogue and humanization of opposing groups is central to global peace-building efforts, but not only that, it is also open discussion that leads me to believe that people truly understand this event, no matter if you are American or not. I believe this event was one of the most horrific events in American history. But I also believe we can learn from it and use its knowledge today. Thank you for listening, and that's all.